Hello and welcome to the latest edition of our Sustainability Perspectives podcast, where we talk to a range of different packaging experts to learn more about how their companies tackle the sustainability challenges the industry faces. So my name is Elizabeth Skura, and today we're looking at dry molded fiber technology, which sets out to transform ordinary pulp into packaging products, using minimal water and reducing energy consumption. And PulPac and PA Consulting have set up a partnership to create the world's first dry molded fiber bottle under the umbrella of the Bottle Collective. And today we'll look at the collaboration's origins and the journey so far, some highlights, particularly of 2024, because I understand there's a few. And we'll look at some case studies and also take a glimpse of what's to come in the coming months as well. So to do this, I'd like to welcome Sanna Fager to the podcast, who is Chief Commercial Officer at PulPac, and also Tony Perrotta, who is Partner for Sustainability and Regenerative Economy at PA Consulting. So welcome to the podcast, both. I'm really looking forward to the discussion because I've noticed paper bottles are always extremely popular with our audience. I think that's a really hot topic at the moment and has been for a while. Maybe you could sort of briefly introduce yourselves and tell us about your journey so far and how you ended up at the point you're now. Maybe starting with you, Sanna.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation to have us here. I think we both are very glad to be here and to be able to discuss more related to dry molded fiber, PulPac and the Bottle Collective together with PA. So I worked as a Chief Commercial Officer at the PulPac for more than 5.5 years. So pretty much part of the full journey of PulPac. So as PulPac became its own identity for 2018 with the first invention done in 2016, it of course has been an amazing journey to our where on the phase that we are now. There's of course a lot of more things to do and a lot of more things to explore with the technology. But again, I'm part of a very exciting journey.
I can imagine, yes.
We'll leave the word to you, Tony, to introduce yourself.
Sure. To echo Sanna's comments, thank you for having us. An absolute pleasure, especially to talk about this amazing technology. So as you mentioned, Tony Perrotta, I'm a partner with a firm called PA Consulting. My role at the firm is sustainability and the notion of the regenerative economy. So yes, of course, helping brands and organizations around the world to get to net zero, but hopefully the intention being to move beyond net zero and really bring that beneficial regenerative impact that the world so desperately needs. A quick word on PA Consulting. Yes, we are a management consulting firm with an 80-year legacy of bringing ingenuity to life. We do the critical strategy work that any business needs to grow, but what really separates us, our superpower, if you will, is taking those ideas, those transformative technologies like PulPac's dry molded fiber, and making them future fit for the needs of the world today and tomorrow.
Great. And before we go any further, I thought it might make sense to understand a bit more how this novel dry molded fiber technology works. Could you explain what makes it different to other technologies that might be out there in the marketplace?
Yeah, of course, I can start from my side and then jump into Tony. But basically, the baseline of the technology is that we are using air as the carrier of the fiber instead of water. So what we are doing is that we are starting with the generically available material. So it's also important, of course, from the industrialization point of view, that we are using material that you can find all over the world. The first part of the process is that we are separating those fiber for example, from a fluff pulp mechanically into a mill. We are then using air, as I said, to transform this fiber into a fluffy web. And this web can then control basically the stiffness of the end part as well. So we have high flexibility of the design features that we can add to the part. But then within the process, we can add barriers, for example. Again, fiber-based product needs some kind of barriers in order to be able to be fit for purpose. And in the end step, basically, we are molding the fiber together by heat and pressure. And all the skeleton we are using between the two, basically, are recycled within the machines. We have high material usage. the process, since we are using air as the carrier of the fiber, is dry to the touch. So it's fast. And I think that is the main point, that you can actually have a good unique economics with this production technology.
Obviously, you've set up the Bottle Collective to boost the development of paper bottles. And could you talk us through some of the key developments maybe within the Bottle Collective in recent years, some of the highlights, so to speak?
Sure, I can kick us off in that regard. So, as a consultancy, obviously, we have been approached by the world's largest brands to help them move away from problematic materials into more sustainable materials. We knew early on that fiber in particular was a massive lead horse in this technology race. And then having come across PulPac's joint molded fiber technology, we knew that this one held the most promise for the speed, scale, and commercial costs that these industries needed. As a result of that, the way we engage the market with PulPac is in one of two ways. First, any company that has an existing component or is looking to replace part of their packaging or their product with dry molded fiber can engage with us on a very custom one-on-one basis. The second way we go to market is we realized early on that there are some challenges so large, so complex, so global in nature, no individual organization would have the appetite, the resources, or candidly, the bravery to tackle it on their own. As a result of that acknowledgement, PulPac and PA set about to create a collective approach where we invited multiple participants in the industry, all in pursuit of a singular mission. So the two that we've identified, of course, you mentioned the Bottle Collective, the second also being something we refer to as the Blister Collective, which seeks to replace what are typically PVC-based capsule and tablet packaging. We acknowledge we're not the first to come up with the notion of a collective. There are some others out there with unique, in a number of places, complementary technologies. We do feel ours is a bit different in that you've got PulPac as the technology inventor and owner at the center. Then you've got PA with an 80-year legacy of rigorousness and discipline around complex challenges, acting as project manager, then surrounded by an ecosystem of amazing brands, partners, and converters, all helping and feeding into this singular mission. It's a really unique way to go to market. It's painful having as many parents as we do have, but it really truly does lend itself to a much vastly improved, ambitious outcome. As you mentioned earlier, we've had some amazing success in 2024. That is the result of many parties at the table, all working towards that singular mission.
From PulPac side, we did a bottle already in 2018. So we know that, bottle was something that we can use our technology for. It was then also, of course, found that that is not the first thing that we will go to market with. There is so much more challenges to form a bottle, but also, of course, from a lot of perspective looking at the bottle. So we started to look at other types of product to see what can this technology be fit for purpose and take us to market first. So from PulPac side, we have developed the technology and the infrastructure, for example, for a product like a coffee lid or this kind of fast food chain applications. So, and now I think both the market, the technology, and the partnership with PA Consulting made us feel like, yes, now the market is ready to drive on to this technology and look at how can we adapt all the challenges that you need to have in order to create a bottle. And we found a good way, as Tony said, to do that within the collective.
And obviously to further develop the collective and the technology, you're probably on the lookout for more partners. And what would you say, what are you looking for in a potential partner in case somebody listens who might be interested in joining you?
Absolutely. So I can share a little bit about the current makeup of the collective, and then would certainly welcome a discussion around what we're looking for in the next participants. So today, the publicly named clients include, of course, Diageo, and we can talk about their 2 releases this year, Haleon, Sanofi, and Logoplast. In addition to that, we do have a client who participates in laundry care, who has not made themselves public yet, but hopefully will do so in the coming months. In addition to that, obviously, we work with a whole cadre of suppliers around barrier and lining technology and equipment manufacturing that help feed into that system. We've done such a broad spectrum of clients by design. So we've got many industries represented. You've got adult beverage, you've got consumer health, you've got detergents and laundry care. Our hope is to showcase that A, this bottle can work technically. B, it can work for multiple industries' brand needs. So we have massive and vast size and shape variability. And finally, not only will it work technically and for your brand and your specific industry, but at the speed, cost, and scale that you need to actually begin to replace some of your existing technology. What we're looking for in our next partner that joined the collective, there's a handful of categories that we feel are underrepresented. We'd love to see personal care, beauty, premium fragrance, wine, or home care included. Those are all categories still available where we think we can have a significant impact, along with non-carbonated beverages, non-alcoholic. So imagine the world of sports drinks and teas. We are purposefully staying away from carbonation just to start. Our engineering teams, I think, have enough on their plate to tackle right now without adding significant pressure variation. So for at least the next 12 months, we'll be staying away from carbonation.
Yeah, I think now it's time to talk a bit about some of the progress highlights you had in 2024. And obviously, most recently, there was the Diageo paper bottle trial for Johnny Walker.
Yep.
And yeah, could you talk us a bit more through that?
Absolutely. So Diageo have been the first of the collective to introduce this technology to the market with an eye towards a consumer test to gather that data. What's interesting and beautiful about this setup is PA and PulPac, alongside our collective members, have gone from a cold start to product in the hands of consumers in a food safe environment in under 2 years. So massive, massive achievement for this entire collective as a whole. Diageo's first trial was earlier this year with a Bailey's Mini in Spain at a food festival event. Lower, smaller volume, about 80 to 90 milliliters, unique format, beautiful design that was representative of their Bailey's Hero brand. Amazing, successful trial. They garnered a lot of consumer insight in that exact usage occasion. You can see from that design, there is no sacrifice of premium and luxury look, feel, and experience. You can have all those things and still be sustainable. The Johnny Walker trial is an expansion of that, except on the other end of the spectrum. So now we've gone large format, 70 centiliters, really unique shape. This is not your standard round shaped bottle that sits on the shelf. It really pays homage to the Johnny Walker brand. Beautiful heavyweight bottle that truly does signify, again, that premium look, feel, and experience that you expect. That Johnny Walker trial went live very late September and is ongoing now. It's happening at Johnny Walker's flagship bar in Edinburgh, Scotland, in a real use case with bartenders pouring directly from those bottles in a live, real bar atmosphere, creating cocktails, using and treating these bottles as they would any other bottle in their speed rack. So a really momentous way to gather input from both consumers trialing this experience and bartenders who are using this on premise and in industry.
What kind of insights are you already gaining, or have you gained and are hoping to gain from the trial? And also, what are the next step after the trial's finished?
Certainly. So we are in the midst of gathering that data now. The expectation is Diageo will share what they feel is appropriate for public very soon. The data that we're looking to collect is, A, do consumers still see this as a truly valuable and sustainable experience? What are the attributes in particular that are signaling that premium look and feel, that sustainability measure, that consumer delight as they use this product? Second scope of data that we're looking to collect very tangibly how does the bottle function? I can tell you these bartenders are not very gentle with these bottles, nor did we expect them to be. They're using them in the same way they're using every other bottle in their rack. The beauty of it is we get real live feedback on how they function and participate. And then finally, ongoing trials and research and development will be held around at PA and with PulPac. Just continued learning on recyclability, sustainability, alternative materials. What else can we be doing to optimize this process in the manufacture of these bottles?
This is what we are looking for, the collective, for the market validation, which is, of course, help us in all the different products that we are doing as well.
I wanted to zoom out a bit and talk a little bit about what are the general challenges around paper bottles, in particular for spirits, or also more in general, and how do you address them, and how do you think are the chances for really scaling this up and maybe making a paper bottle the norm in a few years to come?
So I can speak to the challenges on the paper bottle specifically. Sanna, I don't know if you'd like to address some of the challenges with the underlying tech to start that you're helping overcome, and then I can get specific.
Yeah. So basically, with all of these different fiber-based products is, of course, to make sure you have the cost structure to actually do the shift for real, I would say. And I think that is what we are, as I said earlier, solving for the converters and for the producing by this technology. We are low in energy. We are high when it comes to material usage. And then we're, of course, high on outputs since the speed of this technology is high. And I think that is what we are adding to the industry by this technology. And also, as Tony said earlier, we are doing this by helping to build that ecosystem of producers, but also helping with industrial solution when it comes to machinery and everything that needs to tackle together to actually make this into an industrial solution.
And then on our side, related to the work done on the bottle specifically, there's a number of challenges that we've been successful in overcoming. First, we've moved beyond lab scale and gotten these trials in the hands of consumers and users. That's a major achievement. Second, we are showcasing that this does not need to live in the lab. We have created a process that will produce the bottles at the speed, scale, and cost these industries need to actually begin to replace and use them in the market. That's a major case study that we've put together. So on site in the UK, we have a facility that houses the existing equipment that functions as a demonstrator line. The next step is PulPac PA, and some of our collective members will be building the first alpha line or commercial sized equipment that will make upwards of 12 to 15 million bottles a year on that one line. In addition to that, do not underestimate, yes, our ability to create a technical bottle that functions, but the ability to allow brands to really have their brand ethos come to life in various shapes, sizes, designs, and decor. The surface finish of all of the PulPac technology is exceptionally high. Most users or consumers, when they engage with the material, don't actually believe it's not plastic. It really truly does have a surface finish that is undeniably exceptional. So the ability to create those shapes and accommodate a vast array of liner and barrier technology was a huge achievement that we achieved together.
I think that is true for all the different type of product that we are trying to, shift from plastic to fiber. You need to see not only replacing one to one, but what is the added value that you actually can get out for a brand or for a consumer by doing the shift. I mean, of course, the sustainability will always be a big driving force, but still there are interesting parts that will make sure it's even more attractive to actually do the shift within this technology. And that is also, again, why we need the good designers, why we need to understand the consumer behavior and the brand need in order to actually do this, the shift for real, so to speak.
And our goal there is to ensure that sustainability is not a landscape of trade-offs. You can get the premium look and feel, the consumer experience we all know and expect, a cost profile in line with your financial metrics and still have a product that is sustainable and an optimal option.
Yeah.
Easy to say. It's been a lot of work over the past few years, but obviously this year has showcased that we can do it together.
And I'll move away from to a different part of the bottle for a moment. You're also currently testing dry molded fiber bottle caps, I understand. And could you maybe give us a progress update in that area?
Yep. So it's work that PulPac and PA are beginning to initiate around the world of caps and closures. We took the Diageo launch as an opportunity to test some of those early prototypes. The cork or the closure on the Johnnie Walker Black bottle is a cork stopper with a dry molded fiber cap as well. So the cap is fiber, the cork is cork, and there's a bit of adhesive there that is included to keep those two together. I invite anyone to go to Diageo's website and check out their press release. There's an associated YouTube video that talks a lot about the sustainability benefits in the technology. There are a number of close-ups of the cap itself. You can see that the detail on that cap is extraordinary. You can almost see what size hat Johnnie Walker is wearing. And the look and feel of those does not in any way, shape, or form resemble what you would expect out of fiber. We think there's a lot of opportunity for this technology to the future. We're just beginning to scratch the surface. PulPac and PA will have an offering for the market to participate in that very soon, but we wanted to at least show that this is possible in a very transformational way.
Are there any other projects beyond those two that we zoomed in on that you would like to highlight?
I think that we would like to highlight again that the industrialization of this technology, perhaps not when it comes to bottle, but when it comes to other type of product, like again, as I mentioned, trays, all different kind of lids and the cutlery that is ongoing. We are, of course, from PulPac side, we are trying to then create a network of converters that are here to transform this technology. We are, of course, happy with the partnership announced with Stora Enso, for example, when they are building a factory unit in Sweden. Also, the collaboration with Dart in the US shows that, again, this technology is coming alive on the market. We have previously announced the licensees as well in France, like Fager and the Matrix Pack and the HZ and Nippon, or basically now covering most of the world, where we can then allow brands as well to develop product, and then we have converters that is ready or scaling up their production to take on the production of different kind of products.
The world of opportunity is very vast. Everything from those high volume commodity materials that we say and use every day in our lives, from coffee lids and cold lids and trays and cutlery, all the way through the other end is the bottle, but there's this beautiful universe in between. The goal is to engage as many motivated brands and organizations who want to look at alternative materials to really bring this to life. Some unique tests that we've done in partnership with PulPac, we've been looking at, for example, a lateral flow test design that's entirely fiber. We're all too intimate and familiar with those COVID tests, unfortunately. But you can imagine the amount of plastic and the footprint associated with that. At the same time, we don't want to sacrifice our ability to measure our own health outcomes. How might we be able to bring fiber to life and begin to replace those items? And we've done exactly that. We've created a working prototype, and we think there are millions of opportunities in a similar vein that could really spark impact around the world.
Yeah, a new development, also the products on the market with a Christmas calendar, which is also show exactly what Tony said, that you can get the unique look and feel by creative designers and by the production of this technology. It is a technology as well that allows to easy add colors and prints, for example, and which of course then also enhances what you actually can do with the creativity on the brand side.
My final question to wrap up is what's in the pipeline for PulPac and PA Consulting and the collaboration in general? Can you give our listeners a sneak preview of things that might be happening in the near or not so near future?
So the beauty is there is a lot of work yet ahead of us. And these are really unique and complex challenges, but most things in life worth doing are. So we're very happy that we have that work ahead of us. I think I see the work happening in multiple areas. But you'll see a continued commercialization of the PulPac technology come to life in multiple products coming out on the market in the coming 12 months. So a number of the products that Sanna mentioned, a number of the products that we've mentioned in the collectives, you'll see that pipeline really become vibrant. In addition to that, we will continue to work on fiber materials, alternative fibers. How can we use recycled content? How can we use non-agricultural waste, for example? And then there's this beautiful expanding horizon in the world of liners and barriers that we think will be uniquely positioned as a complement to dry molded fiber technology as a whole. There's no shortage of amazing engineering and chemistry streams to follow. There is a vast, vast universe of possibility ahead of us.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned a lot of good progress, Tony, but I would also like to add to that, again, to make sure that we can commercialize the technology, we need good machines. So we are engaging with a lot of good machine builders, turnkey partners that can make sure that the shift is also safe when it comes to the machinery side. So we have turnkey partners that are available to deliver these dry molded fiber machines in all different parts of the world. We have a collaboration with Joa in US. We have Tech Tribe in Europe, and we have Andritz coming online for EPAC. And then we have bespoke possibility machine with the Optima. And I think this is also a great achievement. And what they will do with this different machine platform is also, of course, in the hands of the industry now. Also, who are on, I should say, for the Scala machines. So I think that is also a very positive way showing that partnership is what will bring this technology into life for all different aspects and all different parts of the value chain. And I think that is what we are driving from PulPac side, to have the core, so to speak, slogan, the home of dry molding fiber. But we need to do that by collaborating with all the different partners.
Sounds like there's some further exciting times ahead for the collaboration. Obviously, we'll keep a close eye at Packaging Europe and keep reporting on any updates. So, that brings us to the end of today's podcast. Thank you, Sanna and Tony, for a really interesting conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, anyone who's got interest in learning more, go to pulpac.com, go to paconsulting.com, check out diageo.com. They've done an amazing job of creating a very unique video that showcases a lot of the technology.
If you'd like to see more of PulPac and PA Consulting, they will be exhibiting at Packaging Europe's Sustainable Packaging Summit, which is taking place in Amsterdam on November 12th and 13th. And we actually have an exclusive 10% discount for podcast listeners. So using the code PEPOD10, that's PEPOD10, you can buy your discounted tickets at packagingsummit.earth/2024. And we look forward to seeing many of you there, hopefully. Thanks everybody for listening. Goodbye.